All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew, and this semester I worked with Sarah and Amelia. Our client was Willa DiCostanzo, and more broadly, Lincoln Transportation and Utilities. The end goal of our client is to implement a residential organic waste composting system. However, our project just entailed much of the preliminary work for this system. Mainly, our client wanted us to gather information and data on successful organic composting systems from around the country. Some of the benefits from composting include reducing the amount of waste sent to a landfill and creating a valuable agricultural resource, obviously that being compost. Removing putrescible waste from the landfill and also reducing methane gas production. So methane actually has a greenhouse gas potential 30 times that of carbon dioxide, which not a lot of people realize. A side note here, an additional goal of this program, not directly related to composting, is to salvage food from commercial businesses and other places that can be recovered and used in soup kitchens or food pantries to help those who need it. As I alluded to earlier, our main goal was to help our client move closer to an operational composting system. We created 3 objectives to help guide us along the way. The first being to properly plan and prepare for interviews with sister communities. This entailed some research and also thought process as to what questions we should be asking. The second objective was to gather information through phone interviews and accurately record that data. And then the third objective was for us to compile that information in a spreadsheet that we can present to our client. Over the course of this project, we successfully gathered data from multiple cities around the country on their residential composting programs. This map shows the geographical locations of the cities we contacted in red and Lincoln in blue, of course. Almost every city that we contacted seemed to have a different setup or be in a different stage of implementation for their composting system. For example, Seattle has a fully developed program that has collected organic waste from the curbside since 2000, but Boston only offers drop-off locations for compostable organics. We asked each city the same 21 questions about the planning and operation of their program, including questions about contamination in their waste streams and strategies for educational outreach. With this data, Lincoln Transportation and Utilities will be able to develop their own program, learning from the mistakes and success of these other cities. By the conclusion of our project, we completed a master spreadsheet which contained the information and data from each interview. We plan to meet with our client next week to share insight on what we found to be successful program forming strategies. After sharing our found information, our client should be able to confidently begin the planning stage for Lincoln. Individual outcomes also include positive connections and relationships with sister communities that we talked to during the process. From the beginning of this project, our team has worked harmoniously together and with our client. We have a few tips for future students taking this course on how to be successful. The first is to establish a mode of communication right away. This will provide an easy and convenient way to reach out to your group members on short notice. The second is to outline your objectives, tasks, and a timeline at the beginning. By doing this, we knew what was expected of each person and when it needed to be completed by. This minimized any confusion we had with our client and on the project as a whole. The third word of advice is to assign roles to group members for meetings and tasks. With this done, you always know who is in charge of facilitating meetings and communicating directly with the client. We trusted that each member had the skills and carried a level of responsibility needed for each role and didn't have to question if each member would pull their weight on the project. I can confidently say we all really enjoyed working on this project. It was engaging and fulfilling to have a hand in shaping the future of this city. Thank you for your time.